In this video, I'm going to teach you how to fold double take, which I hope is one of the coolest paper airplanes you have ever seen. And not only does this thing look amazing, it's actually really easy to fold and it flies well. Not only that, but if you support me on patreon.com/foldableflight, you can download and print off a template to fold one that looks like this, rather than using just a regular sheet of paper. So let's see this in flight, and then I'll teach you how to fold it. All you will need in order to fold this plane is a sheet of 8.5 by 11 inch or A4 paper, a pair of scissors, and a bit of tape. And with that, we're going to begin by folding this top edge to the bottom edge. If you are using the template, you can go ahead and skip to the timestamp on screen right now. If you are not using the template, just follow along as we make some reference folds that we will then use to cut the paper to size. So we're folding it in half, just like that. Open it up. Flip the paper over so you've got a mountain crease here in the middle and fold your top edge to that line. Rotate it into this position, fold to that same line. Open it up. Flip the paper over. And now we're folding this to our bottom crease. Open that up, rotate it into this position, and fold the top edge to your bottom crease here. Okay, so now when we open this up, you'll see we have 5 creases, and our reference creases here are the ones on either side of this center crease. So this line here and this line here are the ones you will cut the paper on. So just grab your scissors, cut on those lines, and you will end up with 3 little sheets of paper here. Now you'll notice one of those is thinner than the others. That is this section here, and that is just trash. You can throw that away. These other 2 that are identical will be the ones we use to fold, and you'll notice they've got kind of this big crease in them right now. Just bend that crease in the other direction so they lie nice and flat. And you're going to position them so the crease is on the bottom of one side and the top of the other side. If you are using the template, position yours like this. Put the A side face up on the table like that. Put the B side face up on top of it in this position. Then flip the B side over like that and tape right there. Now, if you're not using the template, again, you just have this crease on the bottom of the left side, that crease on the top of the right side. And we're going to position those edges just like that. Grab just a little bit of tape and tape like this. Okay, so now that we have our paper, we are going to be folding this long edge here to land right along the center. And our crease should go right to this point here, just like that. And then flip your paper over in this orientation and fold this edge here to the center. Just like that. And now we're going to fold it in half right along this line, kind of away from yourself like that, so that you end up with an edge here and an edge here on what is currently the top side of your paper. It can open up kind of like this. The 2 sides are not truly symmetrical here. And now we're going to flip the paper over like this. Now, if you're using the template, you've got a line printed here. Otherwise, we have this nice crease here, and that's going to be a reference for us. Basically, we want to divide this top section, this little thin strip here, into 3 equal parts. And you can just imagine this, it doesn't have to be exact. And we're going to fold, if we divided that into 3 equal parts, imagine this line continuing all the way across, that bottom line. Fold the top edge almost to that line, but not quite. So we're just rolling this up. I'm going to leave a little gap between this and that imaginary line. You don't even have to have that line. And folding a little band all the way across the paper. Just like that. And now I'll roll it down one more time. And now I'll fold down one more time, and you'll notice this fold should be right along that existing crease you already have, or on your template, it will just be a printed line. Just like that. And now I'll flip it over into this position here, and kind of smooth out some of this bubbling. I guess that might even be easier to do from this side here. Just kind of smoothing out that bubbling a little bit. And now, you'll notice you've got this little band, just a tiny edge of paper there that's on the same point here. We're going to be folding right along this edge, but we want to fold it on this side. So you're going to start right here and fold to that point there, bringing this whole thing towards you just like this. And as you make this fold, this edge here should be landing right along that edge behind it. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing on this side. Looking for that tiny little edge here. You might have trouble seeing it on camera, but it's that same edge behind there. And folding right to this point. Okay, so it should look like that. We'll now unroll this band just a little bit, just one time. And we're folding this outer edge to land right on the crease we have just below the edge of this band. Just making a triangle like that. And we'll fold this tiny little short edge into a triangle as well, just landing it right on the bottom of our band there. So it should look like that. I'll do the same things on this side. So it should look like that. And now we can roll our band back in. And I want to fold right along this edge here. Do the same thing on this side. Just like that. And now, holding the band like this, I'll flip it over and just kind of begin rolling this section. You can see you've got a section between this vertical line and this vertical crease over here. And you're just going to roll it, and the idea is we're going to tuck this whole triangle here into this triangular pocket, just like that. And you'll notice you might have trouble getting it to go all the way in. You can kind of release the band just a little bit, and that'll give you a little more slack to be able to finagle this and tuck it all the way in just like that. And then once you do one side, go ahead, start bending the other side. Curl it in. Like that, and again, you're probably going to have trouble getting that to tuck all the way in. You can release the band just a little bit and slide it all the way in like that, and then close your band back up. And now before we do anything else, you can see the two sides don't look great, but that's okay. Before we do anything else here, I want to bend the paper right on this section here, just like that. And now we can begin shaping these two into circles, just kind of bending them into the nicest circles you're able to make. kind of like to work my way around just like this. And if you find that it's like a long loop, you can kind of just push in on the side there to make it taller. And again, you can play with this as long as you want to get these to be as circular as possible. For the sake of the tutorial, I don't feel like I need to make mine perfect. So again, just do what you can to make yours nicely shaped. It's mostly aesthetic, but will of course help your performance if the two sides are the same. And now, there are a few things you need to know before you throw this plane. The first one is that the two tubes here need to really point in the same direction as each other. You see, if one kind of points towards the other, or if they both point towards the middle, it's not likely to fly well. So you can kind of bend it and make sure these lines are parallel to each other. The other one is, looking from this position here, if one is like angled up like this is going to fly horribly. So you really need to make sure that these point in the same direction in this way as well. And then the other thing is, when you kind of position these finally right before you throw the plane, you want about as much of the circle to be above this point as you have below it. You can see it's easy to move it. Position it so that you've got about half above, half below. And then finally, when you throw this plane, make sure that you launch it angled slightly down. It'll swoop up and fly really nicely. But if you throw it up, a lot of times it'll kind of curve upside down and fly backwards in a really weird way. So always launch slightly down. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and good luck flying your plane. Thank you so much to all of my patrons who are supporting this channel and making these videos possible. I'm now releasing a new tier where you can become the pilot of your favorite foldable flight paper airplane, and your name will appear next to the paper airplane you choose in each of my YouTube videos. So head over to patreon.com/foldableflight and join the Foldable Fleet today.